In the Garden of Gethsemane, prior to this, we see a man clearly in shock at what is ahead of him. As he pleaded with his Father, look, if there's any other way to do this, can this cup pass from me? But Jesus suffered far more than a physical death. For on the cross he was taking on board all the suffering and grief of the world. He was cast from the very presence of God himself. Jonathan Edwards, that famous American pastor, explains it in terms of a fiery furnace. In his famous sermon about Jesus struggling in Gethsemane, he says that the sorrow and stress which Jesus suffered arose from that full and immediate view that he had of the cup of wrath, which was vastly more terrible than King Nebuchadnezzar's furnace. He had a near view of that furnace of wrath of hell itself, into which he was about to be cast. And Edwards says that Jesus was brought to the mouth of the furnace that he might look into it and stand and view its raging flame and see the glowing of its heat. Is it any wonder that the scriptures tell us that Jesus sweated great drops of blood? And this was done that he might know what he was about to suffer for us. Friends, Timothy Keller says again that if we have any questions left, and we're to take our questions to the cross of Jesus and ask God, why are you allowing all of this evil and all of this suffering in the world and in my life to continue? And even though that cross may not be able to answer that in a way that we would want, the answer is that God is not remote from us, or that he doesn't love us, or that he doesn't care for us, or that he's totally indifferent to our situation, because for our sake he suffered and he died that you and I might be saved. Now that, my friends, is amazing. And because Jesus Christ went into that ultimate furnace for us, here is our assurance that no matter what we are going through, he is walking with us right now in our own personal furnaces. I don't know what set of problems are in your mind as you listen to this, but let me assure you that God knows all about it. And he says to each and every one of us, cast all your burdens onto me. I can take it. You see, friends, we don't serve and worship the brick walls or the beautiful stained glass windows of this church. Rather, we worship a personal, caring, loving God. And Peter reminds us in verse 8 of chapter 1, though you have not seen him, you love him. And even though you do not see him now, you believe in him and are filled with an inexpressible and glorious joy. Friends, in looking back at what took place for us, are you not filled today with gratitude and an inexpressible joy?